What is going on with the UFC? So according to Michael Chandler, he's been offered to fight Islam Makhachev. In a tweet, Michael Chandler says, "I've been offered to fight Islam Makhachev in October, but if Conor McGregor's little pinky toe is ready by September, let's do it. Sphere, biggest sporting event in history of sports." Now, if this is true, I give up with the UFC. I mean, why the fuck would Michael Chandler deserve a title shot against Islam Makhachev? Like, I actually can't even think of a reason why. Michael Chandler hasn't fought in almost 2 years now. In his last four fights, has one win against Tony Ferguson. And they've apparently offered this guy a title shot. Like, what is going on? Now, I'm hoping this is just Michael Chandler trying to create a bit of buzz about himself. He does mention Conor McGregor, which makes me feel like he's just trying to create a bit of hype. I mean, if this happens, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, for a start, the number one contender is Arman Tsarukyan. Now, yes, I know he is currently suspended, but if he does that anti-bullying video, the guy will be cleared to fight in October. So, why has this even been offered? I mean, even if you go through the lightweight rankings, just in general, Arman Tsarukyan obviously deserves it the most out of anybody. Oliveira deserves it more than Chandler. Justin Gaethje deserves it more than Michael Chandler. Dustin Poirier has already fought for the belt. He deserves a rematch over Michael Chandler. Gamrot, if Arman Tsarukyan can't fight and they don't give the next title shot to Gamrot, the rankings mean nothing, and this is a disgrace. And I know people might say, but Gamrot isn't a big star. Also, just before I cover the Gamrot thing, Max Holloway deserves it more than Michael Chandler. But anyway, back to the Gamrot thing, because I made a TikTok talking about this, and people said, but Gamrot isn't a big fight. Islam Makhachev's that big of a star now that it doesn't matter who the guy fights, it's going to be a big fight. Number two, Islam Makhachev's just coming off a fight against Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier's main training partner for Islam Makhachev was Gamrot. So you could have that storyline going into it. Storyline, like it's the WWE, but you know what I mean anyway. You have that storyline of Gamrot trying to get revenge for his teammate, Dustin Poirier. Also, if they went that route, you would, and they give it to Gamrot, you'd have Dustin Poirier involved as well, which Dustin Poirier is one of the biggest names in the UFC. So that would just help this fight even more. I really hope this is just Michael Chandler chatting shit, to be honest, because what the fuck has the UFC became if that's the case? Like, what? I mean, realistically, Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor will headline the Sphere, in my opinion. I think with the amount of money that the UFC has said they've put into it, you can't have like a Marab Sean O'Malley headline that card, in my opinion anyway, if you want to get money out of it. Obviously, you've got the Riyadh season sponsorship now, so money probably isn't even a concern, really. But I feel like the Sphere card is massive. It's going to change, it's really going to push the UFC on into more mainstream stuff, even though it is already mainstream, you know what I mean? I think this is going to be a really pivotal point for the UFC, this card. I think you have McGregor Chandler headline it. I mean, I really just don't get this. I'm lost. Hopefully this isn't true. Hopefully, I mean, you have to do McGregor Chandler. If not, who does Conor fight? You know what I mean? It really just, this whole scenario just doesn't make sense with Islam. It is just fucking ridiculous. I really don't get it. I don't get what the UFC's doing. It's even like them trying to drop the seeds now for Alex Pereira versus John Jones. It doesn't make sense. Tom Aspinall needs to fight him first. A lot of moves the UFC are making now are questionable. This is probably the worst one though, and it wouldn't even be a competitive fight. Islam mauls him in like 2 rounds. But let me know your opinions in the comments below, and as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again in the next one.